Welcome back, guys, and it is January finally, and I was this close to coming back to you guys with a nice, shiny new player, a new signing that would only improve my team personally, but he decided that he was too good for us. I was this close. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But first of all, let's just get straight into what we've been up to since we did go and win that North London derby there. 1-0 against Arsenal. It was a slugfest, and things are getting interesting. 2 points off top. Yeah, Liverpool do have that game in hand, but quite frankly, we are 2 points off top. We are now creating a gap to the teams below us, such as Everton, Newcastle, and unsurprisingly, I guess surprising, Man United and Chelsea. It's a bit of a gap there, but we're now in third place. We are in a title race, not what I was expecting, I'll be honest. But I must say, very, very recently, the fixtures have been very, very favourable for ourselves. Obviously, we did get that Arsenal win, but straight after the Arsenal win, we did play Newcastle, and we got absolutely battered. No matter what I did, but 4-0 flattered us. To be honest, it should have been and could have been a lot worse. But since then, I have to admit, we have been on a winning streak, but they are favourable fixtures. Beating Leeds in the quarter-final of the Cup. Again, we made hard work of that. And I thought, how can this be our form? Struggling against Leeds, getting battered by Newcastle after winning that derby. But we then did go and take care of business against teams I guess you'd expect us to do well against. Burnley, Forest, Palace, and Bournemouth. Bournemouth was an interesting one. I say it was an interesting one. We absolutely battered them 7-0. And we kind of just went for it, really. But there was one game, and I can't remember which one it was. Was it the Leeds game? It was the Leeds game, that was it. Where after 57 minutes, Højbjerg got sent off, and it was a slug. I'm almost ashamed to say I almost went like 10 men behind. And then we managed to nick a late winner in the end to put us through there. But I have got back. It is January. I said I'd come back to talk about the plans for January. The nice, shiny new player that I nearly brought in was not part of the plan, but I felt like I couldn't turn it down. And we'll get into that just a moment. But as for now, you can see we have been busy selling players. Rodon looks like he's on his way out. Emerson Royale was sort of wanting to leave, and I said I'd consider letting him go. Yes, I know 60 million is a lot of money, and yes, I may have exploited the Saudi Arabia. I want to say it's a bug at the moment, but they seem keen. They are keen to throw money at it, but I did test a theory. There was 4 teams that came in. 2 I got at 60. 1 I asked for 120, and I said no. So it's not just infinite. And another I asked for 80, and I think I got them down to 60. So they are throwing money at it. And is Emerson Royale a £60 million player? Absolutely not. Am I happy they're going to give me 60 million? Well, absolutely. So there's Emerson Royale going. Ryan Sessegnon is also on the way out. That one is just about to be confirmed in a moment. Lo Celso looks like he's going to Saudi for £40 million. Brian Gill we're getting rid of. He wasn't part of the squad anyway. He was unregistered. I wasn't planning on registering, so he can go off there. Another out that's already been confirmed is Davinson Sanchez. He is joining Besiktas on the 11th of January. I don't know why he's not going now, and I'm pretty sure it was only a couple of million there. That we got for him, but again, wasn't playing. I thought I could bring in someone a bit younger, a bit more suited to how I want to play. I have offered players like Tanganga out, looking through as well. We did go and actually bring back Udoki, who I know in real life is playing for Tottenham, because I was finding I was playing Ben Davies over Sergio Reguilon, so I thought, why not put him up for sale? Let's see if we can get anything out of him there. Skip's another one, which again I'm probably consider selling. because I think they're wanting more game time. Højbjerg is another one where I'm not too sure. I don't know if I want to sell him. 1 minute I do, and the next minute I think he'd be a good player. So that is definitely one to look out for. Pedro Porro could possibly leave. Sessegnon, as I said, has got a bid in there. But as for players that have been coming in, potentially coming in, we might be, and I say it's a big might, bringing in this guy for a deep line playmaker. He can also play as a central midfielder, if I remember rightly. So he can also play as a central midfielder, so he can cover two different roles. And that's when, if I'm looking at the likes of Lo Celso going, I'm planning on sort of clearing that midfield out a little bit. If I could bring in this very talented player to play in multiple positions, I think it would be a fantastic signing. And now on to the nice, shiny new player I was almost this close to bringing to you guys. That was Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, I wasn't particularly looking at him, but I had noticed Liverpool have got him up for sale. I did go in and agree a fee with Liverpool. It was quite easy with the kind of money we've got right now. I agreed a fee with Liverpool. He gave no indication that he had zero interest in joining us, I'll be honest. I'd spoke about his wages with his agent. And all seemed well. As soon as it came to negotiate, nice red light writing. He has no interest in joining Tottenham. So clearly he thinks he's too good for Tottenham Hotspurs, but clearly not good enough for Liverpool because they're selling him. And looking at the squad planner, I think you're probably going to be looking at bringing in one centre-back, as I am getting rid of a few defenders there. Probably going to have to bring in at least one right-back. Again, a midfield, I'm not too sure. It depends who leaves, but I may need to bring in a player there. On the wings, Harvey Barnes not really doing anything, but I haven't really got plans to bring anybody in. In here, I'm quite happy with what I got. Up front, I don't really want to restrict game time for Højlund, so I can't see me bringing in another striker. And the goalkeeping department, Fraser Foster has just signed a new deal, so I don't need to worry about him. And at left back, we have now got Udogie, who's going to be coming in as our main left back there. 21-year-old, hopefully he can improve. But today's game, we are going to play the first leg against Aston Villa in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. We are 2 games away from our first cup final for Tottenham Hotspurs in a few years since the Champions League final. And hopefully I can get us there. And hopefully I can start bringing in a couple of trophies for Tottenham Hotspurs. And we can finally shut up everybody up that says it's such a Spursy thing because they don't win trophies and collapse. Touch wood, I don't do a Spurs. And I change what that word means. First of all, off camera, I am going to play the Ipswich FA Cup third round games. So wish me luck and see if I can get past Ipswich first. Right, well, welcome back. And it's safe to say the FA Cup third round tie against Ipswich didn't quite go as planned. It was a 2-2 draw, so we do have to go to a replay. Quite frankly, we were terrible. Probably played a few B team players, but I still expected to get the job done. Ipswich, I mean, granted they're doing really well in real life, but we should be taking care of this. So that is going to be an extra game for ourselves, but I guess with no Europe, it's not the end of the world, but we weren't able to take care of business there. We have also got a few outgoings as well. That's depressing to see how much we sold him for. But Ryan Sessegnon has confirmed his move to Nottingham Forest. That was for around 7 million. Look at it as you will. People might say I'm massively undersold there, and that's fair for his price, but he wasn't playing. I wasn't getting much more of a bite for him. And I think he was actually out of contract at the end of the season, so I think 7 million is a good sale. We then also have confirmed selling Giovanni Lo Celso for £40 million to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia there. I think that's a good price brought in. I mean, he's on £350,000 a week now. I think we made money on him after all that time. We made money on him. And then lastly, so far we have got rid of Brian Gill. As I said, Gill, he wasn't even registered for me all season. I mean, says it all. He's played 13 games in 2 years. 13, was it 13 million? 13 million pounds brought in. I'm happy with that. Get him off the books, frees up some space. It does mean that we're a little bit, I guess, short in certain areas. Well, I say short, we're just sort of cleaning up the loose ends, I guess, players we don't really need. I don't really know why his t-shirt is like that. But we have sort of clearing up a little bit. So like up front, still only got 2, but it's more like 2 and 3 rather than too many there. And it may become a bit of an issue because although I've been quite happily to take the money from Saudi Arabia to help fund my own madness of transfers, it could become an issue because both Basuma and Romero have had bids. I have rejected bids from Saudi Arabia for both of them, and both of them have said in when it says agents on the left hand side that they would take some convincing to keep. So my worry is 2 of our main players are going. Well, I think it just shows it there. Are going to get a bit upset, and sometimes it's just easier to sell when that's the case, or give them a new fancy contract. We'll see what we can do, but it is looking like already Basuma could leave potentially, and Romero as well. But these are 2 players I really don't want to get rid of. I mean, I will replace, but it's easier said than done. But as you can see there already, Basuma is slightly concerned. And is that the same? Slightly concerned by Romero. Both concerned that I won't let them leave to Saudi Arabia, even though one's 25 and the other is 27, but apparently they're unhappy. I'm not going to... I don't know. Money talks, I guess. Money talks. We have got a bid in for this goalkeeper, as he is a free transfer at the end of the season. I mean, he does look like he could be better than my goalkeeper. He is a sweeper keeper on support, looking like good stats all around, and he is going to be a free transfer if he does accept a move. I'm still waiting on to hear back from Coop Minas. Nothing on there, but I am the only team that bid, even though he did say he was more keen to join other teams. Like Man United, I think was one of them. If you don't bid, you don't buy. And this guy, no idea who this guy is. He's for the under-21s. Absolutely rubbish, but I'll leave them to do whatever they want to do there. But let's not wait any longer. Let's get into the first leg of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup against Aston Villa. And the lineup's pretty much our best lineup available. Davies in on the left for Udogie, because he is cup tied, because he was on loan at Southampton earlier on in the season. Schlotterbeck and Romero for now. Porro for now, although he did do well in the last game. Vicario in goal for now. Defensive midfield is Bentancur as I forgot his name already. I can't believe I forgot his name. I should be ashamed of myself. Basuma is away on international duty. Nunes and Maddison, Diaby and Kulusevski, who are our main attackers. And today I've gone with Richarlison up front ahead of Højlund. Now let's get straight into the game here. And I'm pretty sure, obviously you always want to win your home games, but I'm pretty sure there isn't a away leg goal difference anymore. So obviously if you draw the games overall, but you score more away, you win. Pretty sure that isn't the case for these Carabao Cup semi-finals. I mean, the best way to make sure is just by winning the tie. But as Aston Villa are away, I guess it's going to be safer to just not concede, and then it won't be an issue. But let's just worry about winning the game. Relatively calm start so far. He says and then nearly concedes. Richarlison kicking it up there to absolutely no one. I mean, it is worth looking at teams, I guess, like Aston Villa. if I am going to lose a couple of my main players there, I mean, would Tielemans join us? Would he? I know he's only just joined them from Leicester. Would he potentially be a Basuma replacement if he was to go? Don't know. I haven't really looked, to be honest. I mean, I guess that guy from Atlanta could be his replacement, but he was more brought in to add depth, across the midfield, in the central midfield and defensive roles, not to replace the main player that's playing there. So we have had an active first. That was awful. We have had an active first half. Well, first 15 minutes so far. Lots of chances, no goals. Was it 6 shots? 5 shots? 6 shots. 3 on target, but absolutely nothing to show for it. I mean, the 0.42 XG probably sums that up. We really could do with putting our chances away. We seem to have forgotten where the goal is after hammering Bournemouth 7-0. We have struggled a bit. Can Diaby do something there? Gosh, Diaby, by the way, 9th goal of the season, and I think he has been injured, is absolutely fantastic. He was brought in to replace Heung-min Son, if you guys remember. Big shoes to fill. But at his age, I mean, obviously he's not there yet, but the more he's playing, the better he's getting. The better he's getting, and he's arguably the first name on the sheet, on the team sheet. I don't know what other sheet there would be, but he's the first name on the team sheet. Certainly, if any of my attackers are at risk of being dropped, it is Kulusevski. I just doesn't seem the same player since he's come back from injury. Nunes is another one who's growing into the season. I was a bit at first when I brought him in. He's going to prove me wrong now, isn't he? I mean, that just shows how much the match engine has improved. Because look at that football. Absolutely fantastic. Inside, bosh. One-touch football, brings it inside, bottom right-hand corner. Absolutely fantastic. And that just shows how great the match engine looks now. Because I'm pretty sure the game, well, I know the game did not look that fluid and the passing did not look that fluid on FM23. So massive credit. I think there's not been no shyness about the fact that a lot of people thought the FM24 was going to be a bit of a FM23 with a fancy sticker on due to the massive change in match engine in FM25, but they've absolutely gone all out here and full on credit because this game, personally, I think is fantastic. Oof. Again, Diaby, man, he's on fire. I mean, it does still have its bugs. It is in beta. It does still have its bugs, but the more cosmetic bugs than actual, for me anyway, gameplay bugs. The more just delays on, like, for example, on the squad plan of the shirt, it hasn't changed to him being in our shirt. Little cosmetic bugs, which I'm sure will get fixed, no problem at all. In terms of the game itself, I don't feel like there's any issues. Oh. I know a few people have I've seen quite a few people talk about the Saudi Arabia sort of bug, I guess, at the moment, with them coming in and paying a ridiculous amount for average players. Emerson Royale for 60 million, for example. But is it unrealistic? I mean, would they pay that much? Maybe not, but is it unrealistic for these teams to be coming in and paying over the top for players? I mean, this summer alone probably suggests that it isn't. So I could see them maybe dialing it down on the game, but not too much, because let's face it, just look what's happened. We have just gone straight into the second half, though, as you guys can see. 14 shots, 9 on target. We are 2-0 up. Diaby having a fantastic game. I'm not going to lie. having Seoul players like Harry Kane, Heung-min Song, I was not expecting to be looking at trophies this season. The main plan of this season, yes, it's only going to be a couple of seasons save, but was to bring in world class or potentially world class players like Diaby, play them constantly so they grow and develop, and then maybe next season see if we can pick up any trophies. I didn't expect them. I didn't expect them to be looking at trophies this season. First highlight for a few minutes there. Ooh. We need to keep that clean sheet. We could do with keeping that clean sheet. Come on, guys. We could take 2-0 into the second leg. I think I'd be pretty confident. That comes in at 2-1 or possibly 2-2. We're it's anybody's game. Can we? We could do with getting rid of that. Let's do some encouraging. Not that they need it, but let's encourage do it. Let's encourage. Are they going to be happy if I encourage? Again, that seems to be another thing that's doesn't always get the best reaction. Fantastic strike there, but equally good save. I mean, it's taken a while for this. By the time, go on. Oh. And now do we get the shout? No. Everybody seems miserable, so either the shout's gone wrong, or we haven't done it yet. But I don't know how you could be 2-0 up and be miserable. It changed a few people's heads, but oh, come on. Kuroseski, let's bring him on. Bring on the guy that's probably the one that would take his place. I don't really want to take the Diaby off. Let's bring on Hoyland. Eric Dyer, by the way, is subject to a bid from Real San Sebastian at the end of his contract, so we could be losing both of our centre backs. So definitely going to need to be bringing in at least one more. Højbjerg can come on in there, even that's probably not his best position. Not much. Can we confirm the subs, please? Fresh. Oh, come on, guys. No. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. There goes the clean sheet I said we really could have done with. Absolutely fallen off it. Since scoring, quite frankly, I don't think we've done absolutely anything since scoring. Shouldn't you be in Monaco? Is that Balogun, the guy, the Arsenal striker that got into Monaco? I know it's a your world save, so I get why he's there, but still. Right in this moment, I'm annoyed. Go on, go on. Now you decide to turn up again. It is 3-1. Hopefully that is a safe scoreline. But it's a deserved scoreline, except for maybe 20 minutes. He's Romero passing it back to the goalkeeper. Now, realistically, we could just do with seeing the game out. Nothing stupid. Now, I said nothing stupid, so we started to say keep ball in front of two attackers. Pedro Porro. Ooh, is that a goal? Is that a goal? I think that's a goal. I mean, that's an inspired substitution. Is it both of them? I can't say his name, so I'm not even going to attempt Baron X. I guarantee that isn't his name. Coming on, scored, and as assist for Højlund. I mean, it's inspired. Like, let's give it a go. Like, I know the game's just about to be finished, but his name is Ander Baron. He's Spanish. Baronet. Yeah, Baron Exia? Baronet? Baronet? Baronetxia? I don't know, guys. I mean, feel free to try and break it down for me in the comments down below. It will be appreciated, but for now, I think I'm just going to call him Ander. It's probably safer for me, and it's probably less insulting for him. Seven minutes added time, but I think it's safe to say we are that close to being in the final of the Carabao Cup in our first season. Now it's really just a case of who are we going to end up playing in the final. Fantastic result, guys. Everybody's happy, I think. Yes, we did great. We're all great so far. I just kind of want to know who we want to play. Who we're going to play. Where are we? Carabao Cup semi-final. Newcastle or Manchester City. Fantastic. So we're playing Newcastle, potentially, who absolutely battered us about a week ago. Or Manchester City, who... I think did we draw with Manchester City in the league? No, we lost. Great. So the cup final is against one of two teams that both beat us. Great. But we are halfway, just over halfway through the season. We're in a position I didn't expect us to be. We are third in the league, 2 points off top, basically in the final of the Carabao Cup. And quite frankly, I'm happy with my decisions that I've made. Basuma is just fantastic. Schottlebeck just seems to be getting better and better. What's 80 odd million? 55 million there. He just seems to be getting better personally under myself. The fullback positions are still positions where I'm open to new signings, and I'm quite cemented down. As I just said, Basuma is fantastic. Maddison, again, growing into it, but can be a bit hit and miss on his performances. I mean, his recent performances have been decent. Nunes, again, another one growing into absolutely fantastic. Richarlison seems to be shining for me, whether it's on the left or up front. Diaby, Kulusevski, great. Ander is also going into it. Harvey Barnes I brought in because I wanted to have an extra player in the wingers in case of any injuries or anything like that. But quite frankly, I can't believe I spent 40 million on him, I'll be completely honest. That's probably my biggest flop of the signings. Not really that impressed. He could go. Someone give me 40 million, he can go, and I'll bring someone else in, if I'm completely honest. In terms of who we're going to be looking at leaving, as we have said, we're looking at Reguilon. Sanchez looks like he's going. Rodon is another one that's got a bidding £15 million bid from Leicester. Dyer looks like he's going. Royal looks like he's going. So we are going to have to skip as well. Sorry, looks like he's going. So we are going to have to bring in some signings. Otherwise, we're not going to have a bench left. But so far, halfway through the season, I'm happy. I hope you guys are happy. But halfway through the season, I'm happy. I hope you guys are happy. We are this close to a cup final. We are in a title race. We don't have Heung-min Son. We don't have Harry Kane. We're playing some good football, scoring some good goals. We've got a good young team. Surely the future is looking bright for Tottenham Hotspurs. But, guys, I'll see you all around deadline day to see who we have left. Do we have a squad left? And if I have managed to bring in one of those shiny new players I was talking about, maybe I might even try go back for Trent. Nevertheless, I'll catch you guys on deadline day.